Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. I hope you're all having an outstanding day. I'd like to start this video off by thanking all of our new YouTube member squirrels. August Firm is our newest senior squirrel, and Victor Ramirez and Saiful Hadid is both baby squirrels. Thank the three of you for joining the Squirrel Nation and supporting us in our growth. I really appreciate it. With that said, the topic for the video is going to be how to lose streak with Glacier Knights. Lose streaking is not something you really want to do, but it is better than just middling in the game and having a bad economy. So it is something that good players, if you want to climb into king, climb into queen, you do need to learn how to lose streak efficiently. And with that said, the reason this subject came up, and shout out to Selena, it came up during a live stream. The question became, Feather is receiving a nerf in the next patch. 6 Feather is going to go from a 40% chance to evade down to a 35% chance to evade, so that's a pretty big nerf. The reason this matters is because Feather is probably the dominant build when lose streaking. So Feather Druids, either Hunters or Assassins, tend to be the build that people use when they lose streak. I myself use it also. So I wanted to share this video with all of you preemptively. So for those of you who don't know how to lose streak, you can learn from this video. For those of you who do know how to lose streak, but you always use Feather Druids, here's a substitution and option for you after the next patch, when I have a feeling it's probably going to fall off quite a bit because there's a lot of mages coming into the meta, and then you add in these nerfs to the avoidance, and Feather is probably going to be a lot weaker than they currently are. I'm not sure if they're going to be just unusable or if they're going to just fall into line with where they should be. But anyways, that's enough of the intro. Let's dive into the gameplay and let's start discussing some of the choices. So as you can see, right now, nothing's really lining up. I have 1 Goblin, 1 Warrior, and 1 Knight. We do hit a second Knight, and I do have pairs, right? So right now we're looking good. I have this pair of Skybreakers, I have a pair of Frost Knights, and we're even hitting items. So actually right now things are looking good. The problem tends to become this, is if you don't turn your pairs into 2 stars, you can start to have major issues because your bench can get quite heavy. And what I mean by heavy is your bench can start to have, you can have a lot of gold sitting on your bench. And when you have gold sitting on your bench, it's not accruing interest in the bank. So that becomes a problem. So anyways, that's, I think, what's going to happen in this game. So anyways, here we're going. We got our Sky Breaker fighting the Heaven Bomber, and unfortunately Heaven Bomber gets ult off with like 10 HP and wins the round. So for me, let's talk about some general rules for when to lose streak. If I lose the first like 2 rounds, basically no matter what, I try the first 2 rounds. If I lose anyways, that's when I start to consider a lose streak. And when you're lose streaking, you can do lose streaking in a few different ways. You can empty fort, meaning you don't put anything on the board, you don't put anything on the bench, and you just sell everything and save your money as quickly as possible. If you lose streak, you can generally hit 50 gold around round 14. If you get lucky and you can do a unicorn trick a few times, you can actually hit 50 gold at round 13. So that's empty forting version. I don't like empty forting as much because you tend to get your HP too low. Especially I feel like in the current meta, I've just had very bad luck with a true empty fort strategy. So the second alternative is to basically lose streak while trying to kill things every round. So you keep a team on the board, you try to get kills, and but you never spend gold on interest, and you try to minimize how much gold you have sitting on your bench. So you're going to see it here is I should start to clear things out. Yeah, we should also, and I will just keep the Knights. Yeah, so I should sell all the Goblins, only keep the Knights, and that is basically how it goes. So this is the other way, and then you'll notice that I'm trying to get kills, right? If we can kill 1 or 2 heroes every round, we can still lose streak, but we can also get, we can lose streak to get the gold, but we can also defend our health pool. So we killed the Ripper there, so we already killed one of the enemies. You know, if you can kill 1 or 2, you're pretty happy. And if you are a true, just amazing lose streaker, then what you will do is you will actually kill everything except 1 hero. And if you're asking yourself, why is he buying the Trend Protector, Chief, and the Dragon. I'm just literally buying them because I can't econ anyways, and then I'll sell them this next round. So same thing with upgrades. If I get upgrades, I grab them, and yeah, that is all there is to it. And like I said, back to selling, I will econ up. And if you notice, I'm grabbing the feather stuff. So why am I grabbing feather stuff? Because what we discussed at the beginning of the video, the two best, quote, best lose streaking team comps are currently Feather Druids and Glacier Knights. So when I lose streak, those are the two comps I'm looking for, so that's what I'm holding on my bench. Here I am going to want to econ for sure, so I would say I'm probably going to sell either the Trent Protector, Taboo, or if we somehow won, I would sell something different. But hopefully we're not winning here. That would be rough for us, but we do win. So here, even the lose streak goes bad, we sell the minimum amount of gold to get to 10. And yeah, that is what it is. So if you're trying to lose streak, that already kind of makes it rough. So round 8, meaning I barely even got onto a lose streak. I think I only got lose streak gold like one round there, and I already won. So that becomes the risk of having pieces on the board. Okay, so once that happens, you really need to be careful about holding a lot of gold on your bench, because if you're losing health every round and your economy is not way ahead of the enemy teams, you are really, really going to be in trouble. So that is one reason this is a really good game to share. Another reason I chose this game to share is I think it was 2 videos ago, I discussed how to minimize how many points you lose. And it was a game where I made all the right choices, but RNG was just completely against me. I could not buy heroes, right? So this is another game like that. Everything is going bad, but I'm just trying to make the choices. I'm trying to minimize the damage. So there you go. I sell my entire bench. We do get to 20 gold. So that's another example of what we're talking about, is my focus when I know that I can't really get on a win streak and I can't do that good is to get interest, okay? Get interest as much as I can. So there we go. We're not buying experience. That's another thing to note. So whenever this is happening to you, do not buy experience. Do not re-roll. Just keep the minimum amount of gold you can on the bench and optimize how much economy you have going on. Since I'm not streaking, here's another point. Since I'm not streaking, I'm just trying to get kills. I don't expect to win. So I'm just putting the heroes on the board that I think could get me a kill. That's why I put in Dwarf Sniper instead of Lightblade Knight. Lightblade Knight spreads her damage across all the different heroes, whereas Dwarf Sniper targets the one with the lowest health. So if you think about it, Dwarf Sniper is more likely to get kills, right? He's more likely to kill a hero. And our entire intention right now is to save money while getting kills. So there we go, we hit the Lightblade. And notice, for economy, I'm going to sell the Dwarf Sniper, and honestly, I should sell the E-Ranger, yep, and then put in the Evil Knight, okay? So, if it is a unit that is not core to your team, then it is sellable. I don't care if it's on the board, wherever it is on your bench. If it is not a core piece in your late game when you are lose streaking, when you are in this bad position, economy matters most. So, keep your economy high. And yeah, just you're going to have to make hard choices sometimes, but keep your economy high. Okay, so we're into round 10, 30 gold, not bad. Our team is actually starting to look a little bit stronger, right? We have 2 2-stars, so things are okay, right? And I'm even thinking about the Storm Shaman. Right there, I actually think that was a bad purchase. If I review this, I shouldn't really purchase it, because if you ask yourself when I'm going to put that in, I can replace my Hell Knight right here with it, or my Evil Knight. But you know, was that worth my econ? Probably not, to be honest. I don't think it really helps me get too many more kills. But I think I did it because I had a mana crystal sitting in my bag, and it was just something nice to use. So, anyways, that call I could argue with myself over that call. But anyways, we are still going here, and at this point, the key is get to 50 gold. So I want to get to 50 gold. Once you get to 50 gold, you can decide when you're going to reroll. Okay, and there's 2 schools of thought for rerolling. You can either low roll, which I consider rolling at level 5, and you would do that with Glacier Knights. The reason you would do that with Glacier Knights is you have a 35% chance to get 2-cost units, and your Lightblade Knight and your Hell Knight are both 2-cost, and they also happen to be your carries that you're trying to get to 3-star. So with Glacier Knights, if you're lose streaking, you can get to 50 gold and then use the excess of 50 to re-roll at level 5. Okay, so that's option 1. The other option is get to level 7, which gives you a 30% chance to get your 3 costs and a 10% chance to get 4 costs, and then you can start to re-roll. So to me, when I lose streak, those are the two level and gold combinations that I use. So we're already starting to actually get pretty nice. Honestly, at this point, we're basically losing more because we have less heroes on the board than it is quality. And this isn't really a bad thing because we are starting to kill enemies, right? We're killing more and more. And here it even looks like we are going to win even though they outnumber us. So, you know, that is the way it works. But if we still lose, that is the perfect. And actually, bam, we still lose. So this is beautiful. This is amazing. That's exactly what you want, right? You want to lose by 1 hero. So now I'm getting lose streak gold and I only lost 2 health. That is beautiful. So here we go, picking up the Lightblade Knight. I definitely do want to get the Lightblade and my Hell Knight up, and we should clear the bench, right? We're just grabbing those to basically block other people. So the reason I'm holding them on my bench right now is because I'm waiting for everybody to reroll. So say there's a Feather player right now that's rerolling for Shining Archer, then I'm holding it on my board or on my bench so they can't get it, and once the round starts, people don't re-roll, so then I sell it during the round. So you will see that happen most likely. And again, our team is getting good, so we're losing less health, and our economy is building up. If you look, our economy is the highest in the game. It's not super ahead of people. The reason it's not super ahead is because we didn't perfectly execute a lose streak. Remember, we did win at round 8, which did kind of hurt us. So that's why our economy isn't as ahead as it normally would be if you had a perfect lose streak. But our health is good. We are still above 50 health, and it's round 14. A rule of thumb for me is if I'm above 50 health at the Wolves, so round 15, and I have my 50 gold, I'm pretty happy. In terms of lose streaking, I'm happy. So anyways, notice we went above 50 gold, and I start to reroll down to 50 gold. And I should stop at 50. There we go. Stop there. I'm not sure why. I think I want the Shaman synergy is why I'm picking that up. So if we lose, though, I should definitely sell the Defector because the Defector is not an optimal Glacier unit. It's not really what I want, and I actually do want that 1 gold. Believe it or not, I'm trying to re-roll as much as possible at level 5 because I want to get that Lightblade Knight. I want to get that Hell Knight. Those are what are going to let me come back in this game. They're going to be what lets me win. So I personally think that Glacier Knights, when they hit everything, when they get their 3-star Lightblade, their 3-star Hell Knight, I think they are probably the strongest team comp there is. It is very rare for them to lose. So at this point, we went below 50 because there was stuff we wanted, and yes, I am going to sell the Storm Shaman, so that's beautiful. That's what I was about to say. Once again, we're make the hard choices, but make them. It is Wolf. It looks like I'm not going to reposition, so I'm probably just distracted. I should sell both the Defectors so we get back above 50 gold. And here's another important thing when you low roll is I'm currently level 5 with 6 out of 8 experience, right? So at round 16, I'll be 7 out of 8. At round 17, I'll automatically level up to level 6, okay? So round 16 is your last round to re-roll at level 5. Okay, so for me, when I'm low rolling, I'm trying to hit a 3-star by round 16. Round 16 is like that. Okay, I really, really, really hope that I hit a 3-star. If I do, my low rolling was successful. If I don't, we're going to be in trouble. And as you see, we said the 50 health at Wolves, and if you notice, I'm all the way down to 30 health. So honestly, there's some panic mode. The good news is we do hit our Lightblade, a second 2-star Lightblade, and we have hit all of the Glaciers that we need. The key ones, Fortune Teller and Frost Knight. We have not got the Berserker yet, but that's okay. Yeah, the Dragon we don't need. And I am staying above 50. I could reroll down even more, but it gets risky. Here's the risk. If you look at everybody else's level, round 16 and round 17 are when people go to level 7, okay? So I'm only level 5. I will be level 6 next round, but you're going to have a huge level gap, and if you reroll below 50 gold, it's going to be hard for you to catch up in level quickly, if at all. So that becomes a danger. So if I reroll below 50 here, then I'm behind in level. Also, I haven't hit a 3-star, and you can just kind of imagine, like, it can get you in a really, really bad spot. So it's a risk, and you honestly have to play it by ear and make the decision yourself. In this case, I didn't do it because my health is so low. Like, my health is crushed. Even if I hit a 3-star and I'm behind multiple levels, I may not be able to I may lose one game here or there, and I just can't even afford that right now, so that is why I did not keep re-rolling. And at this point, we're trying to win, right? I'm even thinking, should I level here? And honestly, if I look at this, this is a gamble, but I'm okay with this gamble. Here's the reason, is Glacier Knights, once I start to win, I probably just flat out win until I lose, right? So 28 health is enough. Even if I lose, we're still going to be around 20 health, because I'm not going to just get like beat by 5-6 heroes, right? I'm going to only get beat by a couple heroes like this is looking like. So you know, I'll be in the low 20s, which is still 2 losses, which is fine. And I have a 3 gold lose streak, so actually, see, that loss is not bad. I only lost 4 health. I get the extra 3 gold, so I'm actually fine that I didn't level that round. But here we have to go to 7, and yeah, just from here on, we're just re-rolling and looking for stuff. Basically, we need to power up our team. And you'll notice that I start to re-roll down now, because once you start a win streak, you want to get on a win streak. Like, winning means so much. So you will notice I just keep re-rolling. Like, I need to hit stuff. I need to power spike my team. And here I'm almost tempted, yes, to put in the Defector. I know that looks weird, switching out a 2-star Light Blade for a 1-star Defector, but never underestimate 4 Glacier. 4 Glacier is such an important synergy. It is so, so, so strong. So anyways, that is why I made that choice. And as far as the team is going, my low rolling honestly didn't pay off that much. I did get 2 different Light Blade Knights to 2 stars, but we're still 3 Light Blade Knights away, and I only have 1 extra Hell Knight, so I mean, the low roll honestly didn't help me that much. We are close to a Frost Knight, which is nice, and we are getting closer to a Light Blade Knight, so those are positives. And there we go. We do hit the Frost Knight, and we almost get to our Light Blade Knight. So now things are looking good, right? We're getting to a solid point. The Defector, I'm gonna switch him out for Berserker, but if I can get him to a 2-star until we find the Berserker, that's fine, I'll do it. Defector is still a pretty solid unit, honestly, into the mid-game, because when people are running with like 6-7 heroes, the Hex is pretty impactful in terms of how much it reduces a team's damage output. So, yes. And when you're running the Glacier Knights, for me, the optimal is going to be everything I have currently, plus Soul Reaper and Berserker. So right now, Soul Reaper and Berserker. The thing is, it's round 19. I need to start saving gold because I do need to get to level 8 at round 21. That's when most people are going to go to level 8, and I want to keep up with them, right? I want to keep my win streak. My team is pretty strong, and bam, we hit a 3-star. Now my team is good. From here, I absolutely need to econ, okay? And the reason I need to econ is I'm not going to lose to anybody if they are the same level as me, right? Or it's highly unlikely. And if they do beat me, they're barely going to beat me. So to me, that's why I need to keep up in level. Once I catch up in level, so at round 21 we hit 8, our economy is going to be a lot weaker than everybody else, but that's okay because our team is going to be stronger, and I might honestly even YOLO roll to get our Soul Reaper and to get our Berserker. Another thing is, you can see I'm constantly scouting. So let's talk about some of the things I saw throughout this game when I was scouting that made me choose to go for Glacier Knights. One is, you notice it's uncontested, okay? So nobody's going Knights and nobody's going Glacier. So that's how I know that I have a very high chance of hitting my Light Blade Knight and hitting my Hell Knight. And I want to refer back to the 2 videos ago when RNG was not on my side. It was same thing. I was doing Feather Druids uncontested, and I just didn't get lucky. I didn't hit things, right? So that's why I think this is a great game to contrast to that game, because in that game, I showed you all loose streaking, and I was trying to make the best of a bad situation, but, you know, RNG just wasn't on my side, where in this game, same thing, we're trying to make the best of a bad situation, but RNG does end up on our side, so this is how different it can look when RNG does favor you. A couple notes from that round: we hit the Berserker, we hit the Soul Reaper, so we are at our optimal composition, right? And you look and you say, okay, you hit him, but here's the important point. If you notice, I re-rolled all the way down, YOLO rolled. So I made it to level 8 like we said, and then I YOLO rolled. Why? Because I want my team to hit the optimal synergy, I want my team to power spike, and I want to ride this win streak as far as I can. Because basically, when this win streak ends, I'm probably losing the game. So another thing is I did make a Staff of Oblivion, because when we scouted, we saw that there's multiple feather teams. Whenever there's multiple feather teams, 1, 2, 3 feather teams, you want a Staff of Oblivion, okay? Knights and Druids interact very strangely in that whichever team has the item advantage tends to win. So both Knights and Feather Druids get 3 stars, right? And the synergies, it interacts weird, because if I have a Staff of Oblivion on my Lightblade Knight or my Berserker, then I'm going to win because they will kill the feather units very quickly. But if you don't have a Staff of Oblivion, I give the advantage to the feather player. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So if Knights get a Staff of Oblivion and they can mitigate some of that avoidance, then they win. If they don't hit it, then the Feather Druid wins. So it kind of comes down to item RNG in that way also. But, so, on that note, if you are playing a Glacier Knights team, you need to really be on the lookout for a Staff of Oblivion if there is feather players in your lobby. Okay, so from here I will start to build back up my econ. My team is very strong, and I'm, you know, I can ride this. At some point, you do need to take the risk of getting your economy back up. I can't just YOLO roll forever, or else I'm really counting on RNG. So I would say at this point, my plan should be to get to around 30 gold. So if I can be greedy, get my bank back to around 30 gold, then I can just keep re-rolling around 30 gold to try to hit my 3-star Hell Knight, try to get my Berserker, try to get my Soul Reaper. The fact that I got an egg is awesome. First Berserker or Soul Reaper I see, we can try to level it up, so that is great. Same thing, if I get 2 Hell Knights, I can use the egg to get the Hell Knight, so any of it works. Okay, so why am I moving up? We scouted, there's no assassins. If there are no assassins in your game, it is optimal for the Glacier Knight player to push up on the map. And actually I re-scout and I did see, oh, there is an assassin still. I missed it because it's only a 3 assassin, but still, even a 3 assassin, they can ruin your Berserker or Soul Reaper if they're only at 1 star. So, and there you go, you see me scouting that player, and I think there was another one too. So there wasn't a 6 assassin, but when I scouted again, we realized there's a 3 assassin, so I moved back in the corner. So that's why I'm doing that repositioning. And you will notice, though, later, if the assassins go out of the game, I will aggressively position my team forward, and the reason for that is because against mages, against hunters, you are at you are very much at an advantage if you are right on top of them as soon as the fight starts. So you want to be not only as front forward as possible, but you also want to be on the same side as them. So anyways, that is another just Glacier Knight tip. I'm looking, and we decided to reroll at 20, and we hit the Soul Reaper, and here, I'm honestly, I don't think I use my egg here. And I think, and the reason why is I'm still dominating the enemies, and if we scout, nobody's quality is really above mine. If I look at the people I'm worried about are the Feather Druids, right? Those are the people who could beat me, but they haven't really hit their 3 stars. If my Lightblade Knight's at 3 stars and his Wisp Seer's at 3 stars, I mean, my 3 stars way better. So if he's at 4, right, if his Razor Claw's at 3 star, if his Trent Protector's at 3 star, and his Wisp Seer is at 3 stars, that's a different matter. But we scouted, that's not the case. So And then even same thing, I'm looking at the combat log. I'm looking at the combat log to see how much am I winning? Am I dominating people, or am I barely winning? If I was barely winning, I use the egg here for sure. I don't play as greedy, but it looks like I'm like, nah, I'll stay greedy for a while, just to get that power. So we do hit another Hell Knight. Asking yourself, what do I use an egg on? So do I use an egg on Berserker, Soul Reaper, or do I use it on the Hell Knight? I absolutely 100% use it on the Hell Knight. Why? Because in a Glacier Knights comp, Hell Knight and Lightblade Knight at 3-star are your carries. They are your beasts. They will carry you so hard. When your team has them, you are super strong. You're in control. When you don't have them, you are on the edge. I don't really care. 2-star Berserker is nice, don't get me wrong, but any day of the week, I choose the 3-star Lightblade Knight, 3-star Hell Knight over the Berserker. So that is just the way it goes. Okay, so it's going good. We're on a win streak. We're climbing into the top of the game. We're now into 4th place, and yeah, we're just trying to keep the snowball rolling. Round 26, people will start to hit level 9. You notice that two teams have hit level 9. So once again, we need a scout. Are there assassins left? Scout, where are people positioning? The reason I switch sides, by the way, is because if I'm positioning my team in the back row to deal with assassins, the least thing I can do is switch to the same side as the hunter and the knight players. So I think that's why I switched over my positioning, is I don't want to be cross, right? If you're across from the mages, you're giving them the edge. So this is like the second best. It works against the assassins, and it's a little bit better against the mage players. And you can see there's 2 different mage players in the game still. And yeah, four different feather teams, so it's just one of those lobbies. And by the way, this position works so well against the assassins because if you saw what happened to Fortune Teller, Fortune Teller is the key to a Glacier Knight team doing good against assassins. Because if you saw right there, all 4 assassins jumped onto my Fortune Teller, and then he just tanked them forever. They damaged him down, he ulted, and then they just kept wasting damage on him. And by the time he died, my team was already killing the tanks and was cutting back onto all the assassins. So, yep, still, we're just re-rolling. Bam, we hit the Soul Reaper, so that's nice. We hit the egg. Now I might as well re-roll down more. I might even keep re-rolling here, to be honest. So, let's see. I think in this game, one of my I won't say favorite tricks, but a trick that I do use does come to play. So anyways, we get that Hell Knight, and let's see, we just need one more Hell Knight and we will be at a 3-star, and we have another egg for our Berserker, so that is really, really good. And you can see the mage, yeah, we just crushed through him, same side, doesn't give him a chance. My Knights, they get 1 round of ult off, generally your Knights will shield it, and then they'll just be destroying the mages. I mean, that tends to be the pattern that happens. So, same thing. Just keep scouting. Keep looking around what people are doing. And keep trying to go. At this point, I YOLO roll. I should YOLO roll. We're just at that point in the game. Bam, we hit the Hell Knight egg. Absolutely use my egg on it. And there we go. And then we have a last egg for a Berserker. That's probably our last upgrade. At that point, we're pretty damn happy. I can think about going to level 9. I could think about getting a 2-star of my Desperate Doctor, but honestly, I would probably go to level 9 once I hit my Berserker. But really, I'm already happy with where my team is at right now. And, so notice, Fortune Teller with the Assassins. This is a great team. See, they get hit, and in this case, the Assassins have too much damage. They kill him before he ults, and then you can kind of see how that negatively impacts my team, and the Assassin does get over on me. So, if your Fortune Teller can't handle the Assassin burst, then, you know, that's just unfortunate. But you will also notice that it's RNG, right? So on average, the Fortune Teller will get his ult off. The Assassins won't burst him fast enough for him not to get ult off, and then you win. As long as Fortune Teller is 2-star and he gets his ult off, you win. So here I'm just scouting around again for how I can position. So this mage, I'll be on the same side as them, I'll be on the same side as this person, and I'll be the same side as this person. So we're good, right? I'm same side as the mage and the hunter teams, and then for the assassin, I'm in the back corner. So that's how we're keeping. And items-wise, yep, definitely just start to load the Lightblade Knight. Load it up. So Mana Crystal, now I can choose between a Pulse Staff, the Frost Armor, or the, I forget what it's called, the item that hexes things. So yeah, we're rolling for the Berserker since we do have that egg. And yeah, definitely Pulse Staff, and then I can also make the hexing item, I think is the way to go here. The hexing item, why? Because the Frost Armor is not that useful when you're in the back like this. If there was no Assassin and I could push my team forward, I would probably go for the Frost Armor. But the Frost Armor also, the Assassins dodge it, because the Frost Armor goes off when the Assassins are jumping and it doesn't hit them. And I'm too far back for the Frost Armor to hit the Druid teams and the Mage teams that are in the corner because I'm positioned backwards. So that's why I go for the Hex item. Also notice in this fight, my Fortune Teller does not die, does get his ult off, and see, by the time he dies, I'm already destroying the Assassins. So we've turned this lose streak into a top 3 finish, so that is already good. But honestly, Glacier Knights, the benefit of them is if you hit, you're fighting for first place. You know, whenever I play Glacier Knights and I get my 3 stars, I am 100% focused on first place. It is just the way it goes. For me, Druid, like Feather Druids, are probably a little more consistent, and they're better if you're contested. Druids are better if contested because you can still get your 3 stars. Glacier Knights, though, when I find a game where Glacier Knights is not contested, and then I really try to push for first place, because Glacier Knights, in my opinion, are the best team comp, most consistent first place finish team comp. Divinity is also a really good team comp to go for first place finishes, but it's less consistent because you need to find that God of Thunder. And to be quite honest, finding the God of Thunder is often a lot harder and more inconsistent than getting a 3-star Lightblade, getting a 3-star Hell Knight. So anyways, you can see against the Mage, and you'll just notice the shields, right? Even the Devastator Bomb, we just dodge it all. Look at the Fortune Teller, clutch shields. I mean, gets the shields off right as everything's going off, keeps 2 extra heroes alive, and just no problem, we make it through there. And here is the Assassin. And unfortunately for me, I'm playing 1 Mage and 1 Assassin, so like we said, positioning again is I need to position for both teams. So, and luckily, I'm beating the Mage, so me being positioned back isn't really costing me. But it won't always be like that in the games. In some games, the Mage will be getting you because maybe they have crazy upgrades. So just position in whichever way minimizes your health loss. So for instance, if you position forward, but then the Assassin beats you by 10 heroes, but you crush the Mage by 10 heroes, or you can position so that you lose to both the Assassin and the Mage, but you only lose to each of them by 1 hero, then it's actually better to lose to both teams. I know that sounds crazy, but that is the better way, because then you live into second place, then you can do the position that counters the person that's remaining in the game. So anyways, there we go. The Mage goes out, we're holding on against the Assassin, and now it is me and the Assassin fighting for first place. So they are now finally down, only 5 health. This is very likely to be the last round, and we are just buffing everything we can at this point. Hell Knight and Lightblade Knight, stack them. Yes, give her the armor, give her everything she needs, throw out those mana crystals, who cares now, just get the W and end the game. So some last notes, this game is obviously coming to an end, that I really want to point out is, for those of you who have not seen the lose streak or how to minimize point loss, I definitely recommend you go back and watch that video. I think it was a 2 days ago video, and when I picked this video, when I was making this video, I had that video in mind, because I want to show you all the reality of playing auto chess at a high level, right? High level lobbies, a lot of stuff will end up coming down to RNG, even if you play optimally, right? So that game and this game, I think both games, I went for uncontested builds, I made the right plays, and the thing really just came down to RNG, right? In this game you saw, I hit my 3 stars, I hit the pieces I needed, I got lucky with that Staff of Oblivion, and I go all the way to first place. in that other game the other day, just everything was against me, and I was barely able to hang on, but I was able to hang on to 5th place. But it was good just because of the fact that RNG was against me. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. As always, take care, happy ranking, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.